there friends, greetings and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be in my kitchen. I'm going to be doing several things. First off, the first thing I'm actually going to be doing is making some homemade granola. I like having granola in my pantry to make yogurt parfaits. We always have yogurt from Costco in my fridge, along with a variety of different fruits to put on it. It's just something quick for a breakfast or a snack option. The other thing I'm going to be doing is meal prepping some ground turkey and sweet potato skillets. I've done this before a long time ago. I haven't done it recently, but I do have 2 pounds of ground turkey that I had in my freezer outside, so I did pull those out. It's really simple. I'm just throwing them all together, and then when I go to prepare like our actual lunch, I'm just gonna lay it on a bed of greens. I might make like a little, probably like sriracha sauce to go over the top, something, but that is just a really quick lunch idea. I'm also gonna be making dinner here soon. I don't know what I'm making. I'm debating between either my chicken and potato skillet or my chicken and rice casserole. I haven't decided yet. Still a little bit early, so I still have some time to think about it. Also, I'm gonna be sharing my recipe for a delicious apple fritter loaf. It is so delicious. It only uses 1 to 2 apples. Excited to share that with you guys. And then the very last thing I'm gonna be doing, hopefully if I have time, is to share with you just a quick lunch idea for my kids. It's nothing brand new. It's something I've always done before, but I haven't done any Lunchbox videos in a long time, but I thought I would just share what I'm going to be making for my kids' lunches for school tomorrow. So lots of things on my to-do list. So let's start off with making the granola. So I shared this recipe before, I believe maybe a year or even longer ago, but I'm going to melt down some coconut oil real quick into this bowl and then mix literally everything together and then just throw it onto a baking sheet that I lined with parchment paper and bake it, and that is it. And it just comes together so fast. Just again, a really nice option just to have in your pantry. Smells so good. Now I'm just gonna let it cool before I put it into a mason jar. I just pulled out the granola. Now I need to get started on my apple fritter loaf. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love apple fritters. I think they are so good. They are so bad for you though, but they're so good. This has a similar taste to it, and it's just really indulgent and homemade, and I know exactly what's going into this loaf, which is why I love it. I do have 2 apples. I'm gonna see, they're kind of like smallish, I would say, but if you have 1 large apple, that's all you need, and you can use any type of apples you want to use. Now, the combination of maybe like a Granny Smith and like a Honeycrisp apple would have been my preference, but I'm using whatever I have on my counter over there. So I'm gonna see what I can do with these 2. Otherwise, just 1 large apple or 2 smaller apples is all you'll need as far as like fruit goes. I wanted to share something. I've been kind of like researching a little bit more into aluminum-free products, so I decided to make the switch, at least for my baking powder, over to this brand, the Bob's Red Mill. There's no added aluminum. I'm really trying my best to be better about looking at what is actually in the products I'm using, because I try not to buy a lot of pre-made bakery goods. I try my best. Now, it's probably like a 10%, 90% situation, but now that I'm trying to just bake more at home, whatever I'm baking, I want to make sure things are good that are going into my baked goods. But what else can I do to be, now I'm not a crunchy person per se. I say I'm like slightly crunchy. And if you guys know what that means, that just means you're trying to make everything more natural, buy more natural products. Now I'm not quite on board all the way yet, but slowly trying to get into it. But let me know, what are other easy switches or swaps that I can do that are just simple to do? One of the best tips I learned last year regarding lining anything with parchment paper is to get your parchment paper wet. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm gonna take this piece of parchment paper that's gonna go into my loaf pan. You know, usually you just kind of swish it in there and it just does not stay put. But what you need to do is this. I'm gonna lower the volume so it's not super loud. You have to make this into like a ball, like so. Just scrunch it up. And now I'm gonna take this ball of parchment and get it wet. Just put it under my faucet for just a few moments and wring it out. We'll be right back. Okay, so this was thoroughly wet through and I drained it as much as possible. Now I'm gonna open this up. There's still a little bit of water beads that are coming off, but that is totally okay. Now it just comes and fits right in here. That is it. That is like the best baking tip. I wish I had known about this like years ago. But guys, it doesn't affect how the bread comes out or anything. So definitely start doing that. So easy, look at that. And it fits like in little corners too, where it's always the hardest. You only need about probably a cup and a half of apples diced. So I'm probably only just gonna have to use one more of these little segments of the apple. I'll give the rest to my child over there who wants more apples. Yeah, because that's pretty good. And this segment, I'm gonna take one for me. My husband made the decision for us. We're gonna have my creamy chicken potato skillet. My kids absolutely love this. It's been a while since I've made it, so actually I'm really happy that he decided to go that route. I'm also gonna cut up some more onions and more garlic than the recipe calls for, because I'm gonna throw that into our turkey and sweet potato skillet. Now, the other day I went to Costco and oh, this is stuck in here. And I bought a bag of garlic. I plan on mincing this all up in the food processor and then freezing it, because this is a ton of garlic. This is 2 pounds of garlic. That's crazy. And in fact, my mom just texted me. She's giving me some ice cube trays that she's getting rid of. So I'm just gonna use that whenever she brings them over, probably tomorrow. You probably won't see that, but very excited to have this in my freezer soon. And in addition to that, I also made some chicken broth the other day too. I'm gonna link that recipe down below. I'm gonna use some of that in my dinner tonight. So everything is gonna be coming together right now. My loaf is in the oven. That takes like a good hour, probably like hour and 5 minutes. And then you gotta let it sit, so that is baking. I need to grab some sage. Oh, my sage bush is still looking good out there. We were on vacation for a little bit. We went to Florida, went to Disney World, had a really nice just break from everything, from work, from social media, all that stuff. Good to be back and doing things. I'm gonna go cut some sage up though right now and start cooking. Our lemon tree is also looking fantastic. Oh, I need to bake all the things. Some lemon loaf, lemon bars. But there is my little sage bush. I can't wait for spring. I want to start growing things again. Mint. Sage. Okay. Sage secured. Get started on my ground turkey and sweet potato skillet. So I got these at Grocery Outlet. I got 2 pounds worth. Does anyone ever go to Grocery Outlet? I need to know if you guys do, if I should ever do a haul there. I have been several times in the last, I'd say like 6 months or so. I try to go whenever I know their meat is gonna go on discount. and it usually does pretty often. So let me know if I should ever do a haul there. But what I'm gonna do is in my skillet here, I am going to brown up some ground turkey, and then I have a few seasonings back over here that I'm gonna add. Some paprika, chili powder, ground cumin. It's almost like a Mexican inspired one. Salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna add in the diced sweet potatoes. I think I'm gonna do 1 large diced sweet potato with the skin on and throw it in there, and then you can melt some cheese over the top if you want, or you can also additionally, if you don't want to put this on greens, you can also roll this up into like a burrito. Super, super yummy. I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of olive oil. This turkey is pretty lean. It's 93% lean. I'm gonna throw in my onions and garlic right now. So I'm just gonna use like a tiny bit of it because the rest is for dinner. So a little bit of garlic and half of this onion. So maybe a little bit more garlic. I like garlic. And might as well do some seasonings, some paprika, chili powder, not too much cumin, a dash of cumin, salt, and pepper. And I'm just gonna saute this for probably like 3 minutes and then add in my diced sweet potato. All right, adding the sweet potatoes. I'm probably gonna add a little bit of beef broth too, just to help soften the sweet potatoes. I'm gonna add in a little bit of beef broth. I would be using like homemade chicken broth, but I'm gonna actually use that for my dinner right now. Not too much, just a little bit, like a quarter cup, half a cup or so. And then I'm just gonna let it simmer. I'm gonna cover it a little bit, and then that's it, you guys. And then if you wanted to add some cheese, you can add additional vegetables or seasonings, whatever, but I'm just keeping it super basic. So if I wanted to throw this onto some spring mix, I could add like whatever dressing I wanted, or if I wanted to make a burrito out of this, again, whatever. And if I wanted to add some more salt, some salsa or something. So just trying to make this kind of flexible. All right, I'm gonna have to use this skillet here though, or this lid here in a second whenever I go to make dinner. I have about 4 minutes left on my loaf. I just wanted to show you guys real quick. I did tent it with some foil at with like 20 minutes left, just to make sure the top doesn't burn. Let me. Ooh, yummy. Yes, yummy, and it smells so fantastic. Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit more time. I probably might add like a few more minutes to my timer, but it's definitely coming along, and then it'll be ready in time for dessert after dinner. Once the granola has sufficiently cooled down, now is the time to move your granola into your storage bin of choice. I'm using a mason jar here, and also I like my granola a little bit chunkier, so I'm gonna be keeping a lot of those larger chunks. I just think they are just so tasty whenever you bite into them, but that's just my personal preference. Otherwise, just go ahead and break it up as much as you'd like. Also, as I was editing this video, I thought it was really funny. So I mentioned trying to cut out like just chemicals and whatnot from our foods, and I mentioned not using aluminum in my baking powder, and then I go ahead and I cover my bread up with aluminum foil. The irony is not lost on me with that, but I think that's okay, right? Otherwise, what else would you use to prevent burning on your loaves and breads? The aluminum really isn't touching the food per se, it's just kind of covering it. I don't know, do you agree, disagree with me? Let me know. All good?
I'll eat this now.
You want to eat it now? We have to wait a few minutes, okay?
Why?
To let the glaze set. Okay? And then it'll be really delicious. So originally I was supposed to be making my kids' lunches that evening, but I was so tired, so exhausted, I ended up just doing it the next morning. So this is the next morning, and they wanted some roll-ups. Generally, this is actually what they request. They really love these, so that's why I didn't want to make a separate video, because this, I think I've shown this so many times. Also, I'm kind of running out of ideas. I need ideas. If you guys have anything helpful, let me know. Leave some comments of what other ideas I should be including in my kids' lunches. I still want to utilize those thermoses. Also, I need ideas on what to do for my older son. So my older son is 12. He's in 6th grade currently. We'll be going into junior high next year. I want to know what kind of lunches are junior highs taking with them. My son was saying that 6th graders are still using like the lunches that he takes with him, but what do they use in junior high? Are they just doing like the old school way, like with the brown bags and all the plastic? Like, I don't know what to do. And he's eating a ton more, by the way. So I'm making him an additional roll-up for his lunch, but I need some ideas. I need help. So if you guys have junior hires or know of junior hires that take a cold lunch with them to school, please help me out. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This is the end of the video. All of the recipes will be linked down below if you are interested in making anything. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate your support, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.